What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Celio's Network. Today I'm continuing my Sword and Shield TCG set review with all of the Psychic Pokemon from the set. Before we get into that, quick shout out to PotownStore.com. They have new codes like the Alolan Sand/GX, Meowth VMAX, and also Sword and Shield pack codes in stock right now, and you can use code Celio for 5% off there. And also shout out to FlipsideGaming.com, where I write free articles, and you can use code Celio all caps for 10% off on your next order, $10 or more. So in this video, I will be rating the cards based on their viability in the Ultra Prism through Sword and Shield standard format. I will be omitting pre-evolution cards unless they are notable. And remember that these are my opinions. Feel free to disagree and create productive discussion in the comments below. And this is my legend, so 1 star to 5 star rating. 1 star is bulk, the card is likely unplayable. 2 stars, the card may have a niche use depending on other cards being good or future cards. 3 stars, the card will likely see some play, average card give or take. 4 stars, it is a good card and it will see play and is overall above average. 5 stars, very good card that is potentially meta-defining, it will see play and it will see success. Starting out with Gengar. Gengar is a Stage 2 Psychic Pokemon with 110 HP, so definitely on the lower side for HP on Stage 2 Pokemon. Its ability Life Shaker is what we're looking at here. As often as you like during your turn, you may move 1 damage counter from one of your Psychic Pokemon to another of your Psychic Pokemon. So this is reminiscent of other cards we've seen in the past, like Reuniclus, that allow you to move your damage counters around. Of course, this is only from Psychic Pokemon to Psychic Pokemon, so it has some obvious synergy that they built the card with the synergies in mind with other cards in the set. I think it's an average card, so I'm giving it 3 stars. So the ability is not overpowered because it's just secluded to Psychic Pokemon, from Psychic Pokemon to Psychic Pokemon. But these move 1 damage counter abilities always have some sort of potential and some sort of viability. So I was between 2 to 3 stars for it, but it is a very strong ability that could see play in the future, so I'm going to give it 3 stars. Next, we've got Polteageist, 60 HP Stage 1, so incredibly low HP. Its solid attack here is Poltergeist for Psychic Colorless, 50 times the number of trainer cards in your opponent's hand. I don't think the card has incredible potential. I do think it's kind of like a fun card, and it could be like a rogue single prize attacker, especially with some Psychic support like Spell Tag. And maybe the Horror House Gengar to go turn 1 Horror House and then use this thing's Poltergeist, as well as Gengar Mimic use Poltergeist. So I think it's a fun card. I don't think it's complete bulk, but I also don't think it's very good. So Polteageist is just going to get 2 stars from me, but it has a solid attack that has been good in the past. Just 2 stars, but the attack has some potential just because of the attack. Next is Galarian Rapidash, Stage 100 HP. Its ability Pastel Veil, your Pokemon, can't be affected by special conditions, and remove all special conditions from all of your Pokemon. So Pastel Veil is just a solid ability to have in the game, so if special conditions are ever an issue, you can tech this into your deck for that specific matchup. And then Psychic isn't a terrible attack for Psychic Colorless. It does 30 plus 30 more damage times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So I'm giving Galarian Rapidash 3 stars. I think its Pastel Veil is a nice ability to have in the format. And it's just very solid, nothing broken about it, but it's also not terrible. I could definitely see this becoming a tech at any point when special conditions and stuff become relevant, and it also has a solid attack. Next, we've got Musharna for 120 HP. It has 2 attacks. The first attack, Colorless Energy. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. Your opponent flips 2 coins instead of 1 between turns. If either of them is tails, that Pokemon is still asleep. Really not a great attack because your opponent can just use a skateboard or switch to get out of it. And it has Hypnoblast, Psychic Colorless for 10. If your opponent's active Pokemon is asleep, this attack does 120 more damage. So I do think Hypnoblast is kind of solid, 130 HP. from a Psychic Pokemon, so if you're hitting Psychic Weakness, that makes it relevant. So basically you would have to proc something to make the defending Pokemon be asleep, and then swing the 130. So if you're also making the Pokemon asleep, then swinging 130 becomes a little bit better. But overall, I don't think it's great. Maybe it has some niche use if you really want to go the special condition route and like special condition psychic type archetype kind of deal. So I don't think the card is great. Maybe it could have some use in the future, but it's likely bulk, giving it 2 stars for its potential future use though. Next, we've got Indeedee V, 180 HP basic Pokemon. It has the ability Watch Over. Once during your turn, you may heal 20 damage from your active Pokemon. And the attack Psychic. For Psychic Colorless, it does 10, plus 60 more damage times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So Watch Over is a very good ability. Healing 20 damage can be super relevant in a format with VMAX Pokemon that have huge HP. Especially since we also have Hyper Potion and we have Malolana. Stojourner VMAX can heal itself. So Watch Over, if you have multiple Indeedee, really racks up over time. Even if you just have the 20 damage on one turn, then you switch out the Pokemon attack with something else, switch back into the original, heal it again with Watch Over. I think the ability is very, very good. And then Psychic is actually a very strong attack to have on a support Pokemon. If your opponent has just 3 energy attached, you're swinging for 190. If they have 4 energy attached, you're swinging for 250. So it can do a ton of damage versus just 3 energy and up attackers. So I'm giving Indeedee 4 stars. I can just about guarantee it will see play. It has a solid healing ability. It's only a 2 prize Pokemon. It has decent HP at 180. And it can do a lot of damage, surprisingly, for a support Pokemon. So 4 stars from Indeedee. I'm very excited to see what happens with this card in the future. Lastly, we've got Wobbuffet V, 220 HP, Psychic type, of course, and it has 2 attacks, Shadow Bind, Psychic 70, and the Pokemon can't retreat, but the pretty decent attack is Holdout Barbs. Switch all damage counters on this Pokemon with those on your opponent's active Pokemon. So this kind of synergizes with the Gengar that moves damage counters around. I wish Wobbuffet had a better backup attack for when Holdout Barbs wasn't the best situational attack, but Shadowbind doesn't really do it for me. Since this Pokemon, basically you have to play around Holdout Barbs. Like, that's your entire strategy with Wobbuffet V. You could use a hit and run strategy where you swing with a different Pokemon and then send Wobbuffet V out. But it also does need 2 colorless energy to use the attack. Of course, we don't have DCE in the format. So I think Wobbuffet V and Gengar, like, they're trying to force that archetype. It's pretty solid. I like the idea, but I'm not sure how viable it sounds. I do think Wobbuffet V could have some niche uses, but I wouldn't guarantee that it will see tournament play, and I also don't expect it to be highly successful. So that's it. Actually, kind of a short review today for the Psychic type Pokemon, but I do hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more content like this. I'll be doing a ton of Sword and Shield coverage, and I'll also be doing live streams when Sword and Shield comes out on PTCGO over at my Twitch channel. Like I said in the beginning, shout out to PotonStore.com and FlipsideGaming.com. Be sure to check them out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time here on Celio's Network.